Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCourt. So glad you are joining me. Mike, Mike on YouTube. Hello, 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 sir. Let me know if you're watching me live on YouTube at Skip LaCourt, Facebook at Skip LaCourt page, or the Workouts for Older Men Facebook page. Let me know where you're watching me from. If you have a question, I'm just going to hang out here and answer your specific questions. So if you got a great question and you're certain, not only will it help you, it'll help the other men here on YouTube and on Facebook. Go ahead and ask that right now, or just say hello, hello, hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Tell me what social media platform you're on. Make sure that you visit the skiplacour.com website often. Got so many different ways to help you reach your goals, from podcast to blog posts, training, nutrition, motivation, mindset, uh, videos, short ones, long ones, and everything in between. All right. So check me out on skiplacour.com. Make sure you sign up for my email tips that I send out all the time. And if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, just reach out to me. I'll put my number in the description of this video. And just text me. We can see if one-on-one coaching is a good fit for you. Again, thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you have any questions. And I tell you, all I do is field questions from men like you, whether it's through my one-on-one coaching or all throughout the day. I always want to connect with you. So we can, use this great technology of social media and actually connect with you as you're going through the fitness journey. Patrick, hello, hello, hello. Haven't been able to figure out how to lose the last 5 to 10 pounds of belly fat. Getting frustrated. Yeah, well, I have to know what is you're doing right now. What have you done? So tell me what you've done, and then after you did that, tell me what changes you made. I mean, I've got a lot of videos on how to lose stubborn body fat over on skiplacour.com. The top 10 secrets of losing body fat, dieting tips, how to get a six pack. I can tell you, if you watch those videos, there are definite clues of what you need to do. Now, here's the challenge: is when you're watching videos, and that's why I just love one-on-one coaching so much, is you may think that you understand, or you may think you're doing it, and you may not be, or not doing it enough, and it makes all the difference in the world. So, I'm sure you're restricting your calories. I'm sure you're doing that. Again, uh, what are you doing to? And a lot of times, you know, it's that last 5 or 10 pounds of body fat. Um, I'm not sure what that really means to you. Is that visually what you see? I mean, how do you know it's 5 to 10 pounds, or is it you're just using that term, right? Or if you are you afraid of losing hard-earned muscle, right? Kind of have to know what you're doing, right? How long you've been doing it. And I mean, a 10 out of 10 effort, and for how long? Because a lot of times too, Patrick, what we expect to happen, the journey to especially lose the last 5 or 10 pounds of body fat, you're at an advantage. You're way ahead of most men. Uh, they're not even at that point yet. They got a lot of weight to lose. They might think it's 5 or 10 pounds of body fat, so they haven't done that work. I'm curious of your journey. Uh, Hello, Gary. Gary on Facebook. I'm a 68-year-old bodybuilder who is a national level bodybuilder back in the 80s and still working out. I am able to do deadlifting, not able to do deadlifting anymore, any kind of heavy squatting, and still use 90-pound dumbbells for inclines um, and whatnot. Is there any way I can regain any strength in my lower back to get where I used to be with my deadlifting, which is around 500 pounds? Yeah, I don't know. I can't feel that for you. Um, how old did you say? 500 pounds deadlift. Get back to where you used to be years ago, Gary. You're 68 years old right now. Yeah, I know that's what you want. That's ambitious for you. I really admire that. Um, but if your lower back, you know, so is that injury, or are you just not as strong as you used to be? Because I'm not nearly as strong as I used to be either. I'm just curious what you're doing right now, and I'm curious how far it has dropped off from 500 pounds. How close are you to it? Are you like dropped off and you're at 450 pounds now, or are you down at 300 pounds? I'm curious, Gary. Patrick, been watching calories. I'm on 1,950 calories daily. And how long have you been doing that? How consistently? I mean, honestly, how consistently you've been hitting that caloric total day in and day out, 7 days a week for how long? Now, not that you have to be, but it just tells me where you are and maybe where the next step is. Philip says, hi, mate. I'm 5'11", weigh 16 stone. Most of that is belly, arms, legs, small age, 40 weight, best way to gain mass. All right. So that means you have a lot of body fat, I'm assuming, Philip, right? So you have a lot of body fat that you know you need to lose. Am I right, Philip, with that? So Gary says, just not as strong as I used to be. Would like to be able to pull partials and rack. Yeah. I mean, so how far are you off? I mean, how far have you dropped off? Are you you try to go back to what you're lifting when you were 30 and now you're 68? I mean, how far did you drop off? Because I don't know if we all lose our strength, so I don't know how far you're off, and if that's ever going to come back, but I don't know your circumstances, right? Um, so Philip says he just has fat just on the belly. When you have it on the belly, you have it everywhere. You may be okay with the way it looks on your arms and shoulders, right? But it's just not on the belly, right? So a lot of times when we have size, like, I just have it on the belly, but my arms, I like my arms. A lot of times there's a lot of body fat there, and when you want to build muscle, right? You can't see it because there's too much body fat. Although you're okay with that, if that makes any sense. That gaining of size, man, I tell you, I, men don't really want to hear this, but they don't have as much muscle size as they think. They do have size, and they're okay with the way that it looks, but they confuse that size for muscle. Again, you got a big belly, you got to lose it. Trust me, there's fat in your arms and shoulders, even though you're okay with it. So even if you were to go on an ambitious, consistent workout plan where you're even building muscle, it's going to be very difficult to see it with that body fat. Although I know that body fat that you have is it's so much better than men your age. But to look the way you want, to really see the muscle that you are building, especially when you're older, and you got to be lean to see it. Probably a lot more lean than most people think. Yeah. So Gary, you can uh, pull 300 pounds. You want to pull 500 pounds, but you have a lot of pain for days after I do that. Yeah. Like I said, I appreciate the ambition, right? Our bodies aren't meant to. You've gone down significantly. You're 68 years old, right? I don't know if I have any. I've got a lot of admiration for you, your ambition, but I don't know if I have a strategy how you can regain that strength of your younger days now that you're 68. I mean, I wish I could help you there. It seems like you really pushed it, so you were really achieving a lot, back then. Yeah, I don't try to compare myself to my younger days. My goals are different. My standards are different. I like where I am in life right now. I'm not really competing with my younger self. Uh, uh, Many years, 20, 30 years younger, different goals, different priorities in life, you know. But that's me. But I appreciate your ambition. I just wish I had some strategies for you. 'Cause I'm sure just by the way you pose the question and just having that as a goal, I'm sure you've probably done everything you can already. Being even at 68 years old, 60, even the identity as a bodybuilder. See, I don't even consider myself, I don't have that identity as a bodybuilder. I'm just fit. You could see my kids in the sports, how, you see how much well, hopefully you can see how much I work with them. I work with them a lot. So I have to be an athlete, to make that work. So I'm more athletic training. Sure, I hit the weights. I hit them consistently. I don't want to just give away, all of my, muscle. But I'm just have different priorities, just to be fit and healthy, have as much healthy muscle as I can. Right. Let's see here. But again, welcome if you're joining, want to spend some time. Let me know if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube. If you have any questions or just want to say hello, please do so. Tell me what you're loving of my message. Tell me what you want to see more of. I'm going to kind of talk about that a little today. Let's see here. Well, thank you, Patrick. Patrick says I look amazing. Yeah, like I said, my priorities, I go in the gym, I know what to do, I know how to be effective and efficient, longevity, health, fitness, athleticism, to keep up with my kids, just play a lot of sports, right, with them. Thank you, though, Patrick. I appreciate that. Diet. Your diet is so extremely important. You hear me say that all the time, and everybody has an interpretation of what I mean by that. A lot of times they need to dig in a little bit deeper because diet is such an important part of this process. Hello, William. Great to have you here, William, on Facebook. Let's see here. Would you say gain a better muscle with lightweight or heavyweight? Yeah, that's a great question, Phil. So the purpose of every set is to challenge you to push yourself past what you've done before. That's what's going to build muscle overload. Something more, 5 more pounds, one more rep with 5 more pounds, better form, feel, and execution, better mind muscle connection, doing something more with those weights than you've done last time. Progressive overload is the key to building muscle. So whatever it takes, that at the end of that one set, not the workout, not by volume, that one set, and that it gets stacked on top of each other, that you've really pushed yourself, right? So if you use heavier weight to get to that overload point, you could do fewer reps with heavier weight. If you use lighter weight, then you're going to have to do more reps to really push yourself, right? See, the thing you need to understand, whether you use, I don't know, whatever someone would consider a heavy dumbbell, like 100 pounds, right? When you're done, it's going to be heavy, right? You're pushing yourself, you're being safe, right? But you're pushing yourself. If it's just a 50-pound dumbbell, but you're doing twice as many reps, as long as you're pushing yourself and there's more reps, it's heavy, whether it's only 50 pounds compared to whether it's compared to the 100 pounds, because the amount of reps you do, it's heavy at the end. There's no dumbbell because we all have, we're all built differently, different strength, different size, what we've built up to, how long we've been training, right? Heavy is relative, but it's at that end of the set, what's truly heavy for you, whether it's more reps and lighter weight, it's heavy at the end. Whether it's more weight with fewer reps, it's heavy at the end, right? Hello, Dwayne, watching on Facebook. Great to have you here, sir. Nutrition is a great topic. Nutrition is a great topic, but at the same time, I find that people know, oh yeah, I know I really need to work on this. I know I need to eat better, but they don't attack it, right? They don't dig deeper into it. They'd rather work harder in a training routine or find a new training routine or hope that this will do it or building muscle would do it, right? So, one-on-one, when I really am talking to the person, making sure that he understands what he needs to do in nutrition, what he's doing now, make him answer specific questions. And many times they have no idea. But talking to me, well, yeah, I guess I am missing that. And so the next step is to really attack it. But yeah, LaRon, over on Facebook, nutrition is a great topic to talk about. Everybody has different starting points, different levels of understanding, different goals. There are Some people are willing to do more than others. So, I don't know. I really think to get over the hump, to really to understand it, where you apply it, just watching more and more videos, that doesn't usually do it either. One of two things: you get one-on-one attention where I make sure you understand it, or you're just so sick and tired of the body that you have, you're going to try things that you've never tried before, and probably do something that you heard before, do it 100% that you heard before, where you didn't do it before because you're hoping to get by without it. Sometimes we got to hit rock bottom. We're sick and tired to do the things we could have done, months or years before. And for many people, that's really nutrition. Tariq, hello, Tariq over on Facebook. Hello, hello, Skip. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting for fat loss, specifically? How would it impact muscle mass and its growth? Intermittent fasting. So all the diets will work as long as they just cover, you eat enough food, you don't eat too much food, you're consistent with it, and the expectations of what you expect to get from your diet, they all work. All right. Now, every diet has usually a couple things. It has it convinces you, your belief system, that hey, that makes sense, right? Like keto diet. Everybody has this belief that carbs are the most horrible thing in the world for them, and they're carboholics, and like keto, for example, it already kind of aligns with your belief. Maybe you've never had the body that you want. You've never really dieted seriously, never lost the body fat. But instead of going to this whole wide new world of nutrition, it kind of agrees with you. So it's easy for you to buy in and really do the work. All right. So every diet has something that that makes sense to me. I don't know, the whole food diet. Yeah, the quality of food, that's everything. That's why I need to build muscle and lose body fat. The whole food diet, it makes sense. Give up, artificial sugars. Well, yeah, there are chemicals. I love that diet. It makes sense to me. If I give up artificial sugar, that I'll have a healthier body. So there's some science that resonates with you, that comes into your world, that you already believe, because you got to believe it to really follow through with it, right? The other thing about all the diets, that have some interesting thing about science. Now, it may be accurate. This happens to your body when you're doing this particular diet. It may be true, but is it making this much of a difference, that little scientific fact, or is it making this much of a difference? Right? Very few times it's not making that big of a difference, even though it's true. Right? But you need that. You need something that you kind of already agree with and meets you kind of where you are. And there's some science that dazzles you. So every diet will have that, right? Intermittent fasting, the bottom line, all of these diets will work. Will it work? Yes. Right? Help you lose body fat. Again, all those time periods without muscle. See, to think that you got to do a slow drip of protein every couple hours, or all your muscle mass is going to be gone, right? That's that extreme bodybuilder thinking. If you go for periods of time without protein, yeah, especially if you're older, healthy, and fit, it's not making that much of a difference. Intermittent fasting, the lifestyle part is, I really don't like to stop and eat 6 times a day. Intermittent fasting, I don't, there's a lot of people don't really like food that much. I mean, it's okay. They don't crave it as much as other people. So in intermittent fasting, not eating for periods of time, that works perfectly with their mentality, their lifestyle, right? So that it works. But as long as you get those calories in, right, the macronutrients are, balanced. They don't even have to be specific. All right. And you make sure you don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Find that amount, be consistent, in your expectations are in line. So, if you're only losing this much body fat or weight or whatever in that time period, as long as your expectations are realistic, so you don't have something that I would think is, you're doing great, but you just kind of think, no, I want better results faster. This isn't working. And then because your expectations aren't right, you don't do it, right? Or you quit, so expectations, every diet will work. You're right. And intermittent fasting is it's fine. I wouldn't worry about its impact on a muscle mass. Just train heavy, do your eating, and yeah, and it works with fat loss for the reasons why I talked about. Hello, 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 Robin. Great to have you here, sir. Let's see here. Gary says, "Thank you, Skip, so much for your help. I understand my age is a big thing, and I guess I stated that kind of wrong. I kind of cut way back and a little bit confused on the direction I should be going. Uh, Training goes back maybe 10 sets for chest, now 8 to 12 sets for leg stuff. Pounds on set. Yeah, I'm unclear what you mean by that, Gary. Reach out to me, guys. Let me post my number where you can text me if you have any questions, because I may not be getting this right. So I'm gonna go ahead and post that in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. You can put that into your phone right there. Text me if you have any questions. All right. If I'm not getting your question clearly. So Jeff, hey, from Adrian, Michigan, used to train at Jeff's gym. God bless. Good to have you here, Jeff. Can you still gain muscle and strength after 40? Get mass. That's a question, right? That you either hear one example. Oh, you hear guys going, "I'm 40 and I'm gaining so much muscle, I'm gaining so much size," and I'm thinking, okay. And then you hear, other people say, once you're a certain age, it's impossible. Well, I think that it really depends on how long you've been training, how far you've been pushing, what are your expectations, right? And people don't like to hear what I have to say when it comes to building muscle. I would just say this, all right? So I was probably one of the world's best known drug-free bodybuilders, right? 15 years of competing. It was my entire life. I'm a six-time national champion, but I don't even know how many shows that I worked hard for to enter over those 15 years. All right. I believe my net gain going from not training at 28 all the way to 41. And again, I was in the muscle magazine, like, there's no way that guy's drug free, right? I was the original fake natty in people's opinion, right? You know, in my estimation, I gained 10 pounds of rock solid muscle in 15 years, where it was my whole life, right? You see the videos, you can see online all the dedication, all the thought, the ebooks, the DVDs, the contests, all the weight, all the grunting, right? That's 10 pounds. Now, on a 5'11 frame, that 10 pounds of meat in the right places in your lane, it looks gigantic. The difference between, my first show at 28 and my last show at 41 uh, is massively, massive difference, but it's only 10 pounds of meat, of steak, of sheer muscle, right? I've got guys that believe that at, I don't know, for 55, 60 years old, they think they gained 5 pounds of rock solid muscle, in the last 3 months, right? So, you know, that's a subject that very sensitive to a lot of people. Uh, I will just say this, whether or not you can gain 2 ounces or 20 pounds of muscle, whatever age you are, you want to lift weights, right? The years are stocking up fast. It goes fast as you're older, right? You want to fight for every ounce you have. I don't know, parents. My mother just died a couple weeks ago, and you just think of what you need to do, to as it goes. You want to fight for all that muscle you can. You can't be like 60 years old and worrying so much about how buff you are. And if you don't gain 10 pounds of muscle in the next 3 months, then you're not motivated to work out. We want to do it for a lot of reasons besides being buff, right? That's my message, at least. Hello, Joel. Great to have you here. Hey, buddy. Great to have you here. I'm glad to be here. I love great questions too because I be here on more often. I flip on this camera. It's a lot of times, like I want it to be efficient with your time. I want to be efficient with my time, and so it's like I would love to do a video where boom, boom, boom. I have answer 5 questions. Like everybody, So right now, I don't, we, however many people, instead of like doing this broadcast to the few people that watch it live, I would love to just have it short, sweet, condensed, just answer 5 questions, then make it 15 minutes long, 10 minutes long, and then everybody can watch it. But, when we're saying hello, 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 and just hanging out and there's big gaps in the questions, well, I'm really just doing it for the people who are watching it live. And unless I am always showing up, just say at this time, right? We'll never have that kind of live audience. So, this question, this me showing up is fueled, by the energy and the questions that you have, right? Oh, good. What'd you find most valuable, Philip? Philip says, this has been good tips. Thank you. You know, um, Thank you, Larone. I appreciate that. I'm just curious, because I've been doing. Oh, take your info on board. Yeah, I'm curious. I've been doing this for so long. I've helped out so many men just like you. And as we ask these questions, I go in a lot of different directions. And what is important to you, what you find helpful in your journey, I never know that for sure because I don't get the feedback. I'm curious um, what what you find most valuable about the way we talk. You know, I am curious. Let me know, guys. Well, it is good having you here. Let's see how long. But like I said, I'm gonna put my number in the chat one more time. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to text me. And make sure you can always direct message me here, instant message me, instant message tells you how old I am, right? DM me, slide into my DMs if you have any questions. All right, so that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day.